Don't you hate it when you're pretending to be a CNC machine and you're being so careful, but the router slips on the template just a little bit? Have no fear, that project that you've already spent hours on is not completely ruined. We're going to show you how to conceal that slip like a 1950s pencil skirt, so no one will ever know about it, unless you tell them. But just don't do that. As I talk all the way through step 1, I'll recap. You'll want to start by trimming some of the surrounding wood, as it's way easier to fit a flat piece in than it is trying to carve the same curve. Jason found a piece of the cutoffs in the same wood and tried to match the color to the piece we were patching. It's also best to try to match the grain. In this case, it was on an angle and we didn't want to waste the wood to try to match the grain, and this slip is at the back of the desk, so we opted to just go for it anyways. Let me repeat, if you don't tell anyone, they'll never know. In some cases, you may want to drill a hole or cut a circle and fit a circular piece in, like a dowel or a plug of sorts. For this patch, though, that wouldn't really work well. Like most other problems we run into, he tried one idea, and when it didn't work the way he wanted it to, he tried another approach. These changes don't have to be huge, sweeping changes. Just trying again a slightly different way usually works. And thankfully, we had the material to try again. You may find you need to be more thoughtful with your first attempt if you are running low on patch material. As you can see, it's all about fine-tuning. In this case, it's easier to sneak up on it. Cut a piece slightly larger than the area you're patching, test it, and cut more off or make a line and sand it down to the line. Test and test again. Adjust the surface or sand the patch as needed. Jason purposely left the patch a little bigger than the space. He wants to do the final finishes once it's fastened down. This part can go as fast or slow as you want to make it. You have to decide what your good enough looks like. He says that I'm the one that's picky and will work at it until I think it's perfect, but it really bugs him when something is off. Thankfully, we have that in common, or it would be a struggle around here. Jason continues shaving off little pieces until the bottom and outside edge that he is butting the patch up against are flat enough to not leave any gaps. Or at least really, really small ones that he can later fill with wood filler to help hide the transition. Once he's satisfied with the fit, he puts a generous amount of CA glue on the work surface and sprays activator on the patch. This should be enough to hold this piece in, and we don't want to add nails or anything that you'll see. And again, where it's located, CA glue should be more than enough to hold it down. Now he uses the chisels again to make sure the patch is flush with the work surface and to trim it to the right size. If you wanted, you could pull out the router again, but we wanted to get this prepped for resin, so we didn't want to take the chance of another slip. A little carving will do the trick. You'll notice Jason uses a straight edge and a sharp knife to score the patch to line up with the rest of the pattern. This helps guide where he should chisel without the width of a pencil or a marker line, and there's no marking. And because that piece is bigger, if you slipped right now with the blade and marked the patch, it's okay. We're going to remove the surface anyway. First, we're going to sand it flush, and then eventually we're going to use a router as we flatten the top after the resin is poured. We are really thankful to have a good set of chisels in various sizes. It really helped with this patch. We know not everyone has a lot of tools or room to hold a lot of tools and work on projects. That is a large part of why we're opening a makerspace in South Calgary later this year. We want a place where others can have access to lots of tools of all kinds and the space to bring any idea they may have to reality. We're moving forward with our makerspace so everyone can benefit from our hobby collecting, and we can help the maker community in Calgary grow. This is a sneaky trick Jason learned. Not sure if he picked it up from Bourbon Moth. Oh my gosh, we love that guy. If you don't already follow him on YouTube, you should go find him now. Or from his many years in shop class in grade school. He sands the surface flat and keeps some of the sawdust. He then mixes that sawdust with a little bit of wood glue and makes a wood filler that perfectly matches our workpiece. You then smush it into the crack. Yes, that's the technical way to say that. And then you sand away any excess. Give it a little vacuum, clean up any leftover dust, and bam! Nothing to see here, folks. Just a perfectly cut project with no weird bonks in the design. There's nothing to see here, or here, or here. You'll be thinking to yourself, wow, these guys must have used a CNC to cut this pattern. It's so nice. I know, we nailed it. Ciao for now.